Flu season got here early this year, and it's much worse than any of us expected. Welcome to Getting Understanding with Dr. Daryl Ellis. We're going to get together today and talk a little bit about influenza, the flu. The flu, you say? We just got through going through COVID. Do we really want to hear anything else about viral upper respiratory infections? Well, it's kind of important. The reason why is that this year, for the first time in the last 2.5 to 3 years, we're getting hit by a flu that is very, very virulent. It's making people really, really sick. It came out in numbers and at a time that we really weren't expecting it as a medical community. If you've been watching the news recently, you see that we're having increasing and record number of hospitalizations, particularly of children, with combination influenza and respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, with significant respiratory complications requiring supplemental oxygen, serial nebulizer treatments, and there's quite a bit of morbidity and in some cases even mortality. It's really more than we expected. And the question is why? Why are we getting hit so hard and so early by influenza this year? Well, I think there are a couple of reasons. Number one, over the course of the last 2.5 years during the COVID-19 pandemic, we had in place restrictions. Restrictions in terms of social distancing, restrictions in terms of large gatherings of people in indoor environments, restrictions in terms of mask wearing. We were cautioning people, and people were paying attention to some degree or another with respect to frequent hand washing, hand sanitization, keeping your hands out of your face that can be as a conduit for viral infections that you may touch on a surface and then introduce into your own system. Those restrictions are off. People are now back out. They're socializing as they did prior to the pandemic. Many places no longer have any mask restrictions. There are no more social distancing guidelines. People are being much less mindful of their hand washing and hand sanitization. And we're going into the fall months. The weather's cooling off, and influenza has arrived from out in the Far East. Influenza mutates every year. We generally have to find out what strain of influenza is striking in China, usually 6 months prior to it getting here. Then they develop the appropriate vaccination for that strain before it gets to the United States. And we start to encourage people in August and September to start getting their flu shot in preparation for what we know is coming. Well, I think that there was a lot of fatigue in this country with regards to immunizations. People had gone through the COVID vaccines. They had had 2, 3, 4 injections in preparation for and to try and help keep themselves out of trouble with respect to COVID-19. And a lot of people just didn't want to hear about getting vaccinated for the flu. And those who did hear about it really pushed back on it. They didn't want to take any more shots. We're continuing to roll out new information every couple of weeks. I want to be sure that we are hitting topics that you are interested in hearing about. So do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, send me some comments, send me some questions, send me some topics that you'd like for me to discuss. And I'll look forward to rolling out more information, hopefully to engage you, to educate you, and to be able to draw you into this channel so that we can meet your needs. God bless you.